Well, I am back with Moon in your partner's sixth house. I had to catch up with where I'm at with the moon sign placements in Sinistry. And we are dealing with the sixth house. And with this placement here, this is a workable Sinistry here. Get it? Workable? Because the sixth house work. At least here, we'll have the house person wanting to get involved with the endeavors of the moon persons. It's like the moon person inspires the house person to work harder, to set up a routine, maybe even look after their health, maybe even get a pet or two. And the house person is also very supportive of the moon person's aspirations. The house person is going to want to help the moon person. If the moon person is feeling down, not well, you can find the house person peppering the moon person, giving them medicines, natural. I want to say here, it may be more of like a natural herbal um, aspect to it as well. You know, like the house person can treat the moon person with natural ingredients, like a natural process, nursing them back to health. And it's very interesting that I'm doing this video on the day that I have a cold. Does anybody have any natural herbs, herbal type stuff for me? Medicine? Because yes, you definitely can find that here. And more than anything, there could be aspects dealing with sickness and illness here, you know. And it's interesting how when a planet does get in the house and how they activate each other, because you could take a perfectly healthy, well person and they put their moon in a partner's sixth house, it can like trigger psychological situations or thought processes that get in the way of the moon person's ability to be productive in life, only to bring these situations up, these illnesses up, like psychological subconscious mind aspects up, to ultimately be dealt with and actually healed. And the moon person can also trigger this type of health and wellness for the sixth house person. Like the moon can trigger this for the sixth house person, and the sixth house person can definitely trigger this same aspect with the moon. But here is where you find the partners actually attempting to work together to heal each other. Okay. And working together is definitely beneficial here. So it's not one of those things you're sending someone off and when you can help them. Like, helping is even as simple as giving information, right? Now, this is the thing, because let's get into the nitty gritty here. The thing is that you don't really have a sixth house synastry without a situation to where like one person may be feeling like they're giving more than they're getting out of the situation. With a sixth house synastry, whatever planet is here, it's all about making sure you get out of a situation what you put in, and making sure you're willing to put in to a situation what you want to get out. It doesn't work any other way, because what happens is you'll find someone over asserting themselves and doing so, trying to make things better, trying to please the other person, when in actuality they really can't do so, because whatever is happening in this particular relationship, it's taking more than one person to handle the responsibilities, because to handle the situation, it's taking more than one person. It's taking both individuals. Now, this is the thing. So the moon person can receive a lot of the sixth person giving in a way to try to keep them satisfied or fulfilled, especially emotionally. They can do things in a romantic sense. They can gift the moon person. They can help them with chores. They can help them with work. They can help them with responsibilities. If the moon person is, off doing work or has to have put their time towards something else, the house person could definitely fill in for the moon person. But at the end of the day, the house person can feel like, they're being taken advantage of. Like the moon person is getting a lot of their resources because they're holding resources in the sixth house. Okay, there's a lot that the moon can access to feel supported. But in return, they're not really giving up much of themselves in return. They're not really willing to return a favor. That's not to say that the moon person is not or incapable of returning the favor. The moon person could just really be, more about handling their own responsibilities. The moon person can have a lot on their plate as well. And in return, the moon person can feel like the sixth house person gets mad or disgruntled and withholds resources. Like the moon person can feel like, well, if I don't support the sixth house in collecting more money, earning more money, or their vision or whatever it is that they're working at, their responsibilities, they could feel like the sixth house person withholds stuff that they given them or withholds access to whatever they have that can help the moon person as well. And it's interesting because ultimately the way that is playing out is that both people has something valuable that can benefit the other person. And both people feel like the other person is holding out and can do more. And this could be to simply solve this problem or this situation can simply be something to where you guys have to manage and organize time. Like you have to be able to do stuff like put your time together. You might have aspects in a relationship to where you're working on two different things because one person might be working more outside the home, the other person may be working more inside the home. And if they're both working inside of the home, because we're in today's times where people are working in home, it can really be about who's doing what responsibilities, who's handling what situations. And you can see here to where the moon person can actually act as like a counselor or advisor to the house person and vice versa. Like, guys, I don't really get into that one energy is in synergy necessarily. Like the planet is, doing most of the taking out of the house and the house feels it more. I don't really do that. Like, I understand the concept of that, but reading people's charts and hearing their situations that they're going through and experiencing and then giving them help or advice, I have noticed to where the energy can play out both ways here. And it's just more about the house being activated. Like the house can experience stuff with the planets when the planet placement is in the house when versus when they're not. Because you can take another partner that does not have their moon in someone's sixth house that will have a whole completely different experience with that other person. And never really focus on health or responsibilities or organizations. And it could literally be the same situations and the same relationship setup, but it will never cross either partner's mind to have an issue with the way things are happening. But when a planet falls in someone's house, it sparks that house. It sparks that energy from the planet to the house for both people, really. So I say work on things together. Like even if you don't have work to where you work together, work on things together. Like maybe sit down once a week or a couple times a week to where like you're making some type of plan, right? A plan for how things are going to play out during the week or the next couple days or so. And see who does what and switch, like alternate, so it doesn't seem like one person is doing the same thing. Work on some type of fitness program with each other. Voice that you're feeling like maybe everything's been put on you. Can we work something out in another way? Because the house of the sixth house, the house of Virgo, is ruled by Mercury. Communication. But all in all, this will be good once you guys get on the same page, because you have a situation here to where in relationships it takes work, and it takes working together. So if you can figure this aspect out and you can keep up some type of routine or consistency, and I understand because depending on what sun sign is falling here and everything, and just different planets, sometimes relationships get boring and stale. You know, that can happen here, you know. Doing the same thing over and over again, and that's why you simply should just switch up what you do. All right, so this has been Moon in the partner sixth house, and I'm gonna fly to light, and you know you better subscribe to my channel right now, because I'm gonna be bad. Peace.